points, 15-6-96. The Lions 12-15-87. And Lee Matthews breathing fire at three-quarter time. Only win of the season was here at the Gabba against the Kangaroos. Dockers looking for their first win of the season. McRae, it's been on and off the ground. His first game back for a long time, the Dockers. They were down 24 points during that third term. They turned it around, the lead by 9 at this last change. Bell has been magnificent today for the Dockers. So has Pavlich at centre-half forward. They've been the two big winners on the ground. McRae does well. It was clever play. Picked up and ball was pumped forward that time by Marcus Picken into the pocket. Chance for Parker's pretty quick. Ackermanis, here's a chance. Lynch kicks a goal. He's got 5 from 5 kicks.
Gee, where did that come from, Jason?
I have no idea. I'm dying to see a replay of the bounce that ball took, because somehow it ended up in the hands of Alistair Lynch. And one thing we did see at three-quarter time, or since three-quarter time, no re-emergence of Anthony Jones, who was Alistair Lynch's direct opponent. Here's the ball coming in. You can see the initial contest there. Parker doubles back. A swing and a miss from Ackermanis, and the ball just pops up, and who's running along? It's Alistair Lynch. He runs in and kicks his 5th. Look at this. Ackermanis has a swing off the deck and misses, and it just pops into his hands. Couldn't believe it.
Oh, you're a full forward, Jace. They're all that easy, aren't they?
Take them when you get them.
Well, the Lions needed it. 3 points now the margin, but good work by McRae and Picken on the half-forward line to hold the ball in the area. There's Bell. What a game he's had. Ackermanis got the job to spark something for the Lions. Bootsma. Well, he boots it high. And it's not going to be a mark. Cook dropped it, coming through Scott. Wants to paddle it forward. Perhaps should have taken possession. Goes back to Cook. Round the body, just searches for the wing. But the Dockers should get there first. Bandy, well, got a bad bounce, but he overran it. Kennedy's gone. Hello!
Got him.
Well, he had to beat 2. Here they go now, the Dockers. Longmuir, here's Modra back on the ground. Michael again. He's been supreme at fullback. And he'll want the boundaries there. He hasn't put a foot wrong, Michael.
No, he has been very, very good. We've seen Tony Modra drop a couple that he would normally swallow, a chest mark, and one that he should have taken in the hands in front of the face. It's been a pretty quiet day for him, but knowing Tony Modra, he's the sort that could kick 2 or 3 in this last quarter to get the Dockers going.
Absolutely true. 96 plays 93. Look for something here from the Dockers. Over the top came Longmuir. He was the man. Well, he almost got Metropolis. Now he does. He can kick a goal, Metropolis. Off the side. Well, he tried to work it through. The ball's still in. Great shot of there, Modra. He's still with a chance. Handball's back. Pavlich. And another boundary throw in. So they kept the ball alive, the Dockers. They do that inside their forward 50. They're always a chance. And Anthony Jones looks like perhaps an AC joint or something of that nature. And he won't be taking part for the rest of the game, I don't think.
Dockers fired 3 points. McDonald forced his way to the front. Chance for Scott. Crunched that time by McManus. Good strong play. Bandy stands and delivers from 40 metres out. Has kicked a great goal.
Well, this has just been an incredible game, and look at the spirit. The players are just, they're all running over to Daniel Bandy. I mean, he's made something out of nothing. Off a couple of steps from deep in the pocket, he's threaded the needle after contesting it with Beau McDonald. And Brad Scott just couldn't get his boot to the ball. It fell free. He's picked it up, and look at that for the quick kick.
And he was so good in that third quarter playing across centre-half back.
"17 possessions, 8 marks, and now his second goal, Daniel Bandy, and a terrific one at that. Just gives the Dockers a little bit of breathing space. Kennedy taking a breather. Just ran into Sean McManus on the wing, caught. Bounce favours Longmuir. Back to Bell. Quick hands, Cook. Likewise again to Black. Round the body. Gets some distance. Look at the speed of Bandy.
For a big fellow, his acceleration's unbelievable.
Well, Tim Notting's not slow. He ran straight past him. As Picken takes the mark from a good kick. Picken. Now Lappin cuts on the angle. And it won't be spot on. It was good work by, well, that's Troy Longmuir, who spent most of the time on the bench.
Again, you just question where that ball was kicked to. You'd think they could at least bring it inboard a little. I mean, you don't square it up from the wing, but you can certainly go a little bit more direct. Just put it in a more attacking position.
McDonald to do battle against Longmuir. Longmuir down in front, running through Lappin. They got 3 here, the Lions. And now, this is Notting. Distance won't be a problem. It's all about accuracy, and he's got another one. 3 goals to Tim Notting. Lions now down by 3 points.
He's been one of the Lions' best without a doubt. 20 possessions to Tim Notting, 6 marks, 3 goals, 3. Could have been 5 or 6, but he's certainly given them a spark. A couple of goals he's kicked from outside 50. And you can just see him latching onto the hand pass from Nigel Lappin. Good work shooting it out. And you're right, 50-metre line's no barrier to Tim Notting. I think you could make it a 60-metre line and he'd be a little bit more comfortable.
Tim Notting's booted 3 goals, 3, 2 in the second quarter. That all-important one now in this last term. They trail by 3 points. The Dockers, 16-6 plays, 14-15. Chance for McManus to Bootsma. He just threw the ball. No free kick. Good strong play. Headland's been pulled off the ball. Pounced on that time by Scott. Gives it to the run of Picken. Belts the ball back towards centre half forward. Danger here for the Dockers. They'll need a crummer. Here's a chance. Notting can kick it off the ground. Drags it back into play. Desperate play by McRae. Taken away by Carr. Squeezed up on the boundary line. Happy to see the ball trickle over for a toss back in.
Ooh, plenty happening here in the last quarter. You'll be able to check out all the results from all the games as they happen on the i7 Sport website, i7sport.com.au.
McDonald and Troy Longmuir, Justin Longmuir I should say, who's been very good today. He's a very impressive young ruckman. Cook had it, lost it, tried to juggle it, was Ackermanis. Trying to crash his way through that time was Notting. Fed the ball back off to Voss. Standing delivers Chris Scott. High ball, front of the square. Coming out is Lynch. Bundled over this time by Brown. Lynch has booted 5 today. 5 from 5 kicks. Walker from the half-back line. Sets it up. It's a weighted hand pass. Running onto the ball. Good strong play. That's Grover. And the kick finds its mark. Hazelby.
Space to lead into Modra.
He's been a little bit quiet since that opening term. Grover comes down. Bandy! He's got a free.
Holding on, yep. Had to be paid. I'll tell you what, they're very worried about Daniel Bandy. Jonathan Brown's gone down to the back line. He's the man picking him up. And he's just going to struggle to stay with him pace-wise off the mark.
Well, Bandy did so well on Brown in that third term, playing at centre-half back. Now the roles have been reversed.
Just retarding him. He had one arm around the waist. And he's certainly come to life, Daniel Bandy. He could be the difference here today.
Well, we said before the game that he's so athletic that he's threatened for a long time to be a star, hasn't he, Daniel Bandy? He's already kicked 2 goals. This to extend the lead to 9 points. Bandy directly in front. Hammers it home.
They did well there, Fremantle.
Well, if I was, second-guessing Lee Matthews sitting in the Lions coach's box at the moment, you just worry about the fluency of the Lions attack. The Dockers look more likely to go through normal channels to kick a goal than the Lions. They seem to be creating them out of nothing, making them out of general play rather than hitting a target the way the Dockers are getting a couple of their goals at the moment. So a lot of work here still to be done for the Brisbane Lions to get out of jail.
Lee Matthews seeing his side go goal for goal here in the last quarter at the Gabba, and he is on the phone immediately. Well, Brad Scott's off, but Bandy is the danger man for the Dockers with 3 goals, 2 in this quarter. Look at the pace of Notting. He can give it a roost. He goes for home to the goal square. Lynch will be the man to fly. Went early.
Free kick.
Free kick. So no one on the mark. Lee Brown able to just spot up Bootsma. He was off, got it away. Black under pressure, but Mattis has space. Now, looks up. Longmuir the target. McDonald to go back to him. Oh, Longmuir almost pulled in the one hand. Here's Bandy way out from goal.
Oh, great hand.
Great handball. The 2 big men combined. Longmuir now towards Modra. Where is he? Michael couldn't get it. Look at the crumbs by Ship. Over the top towards Hazelby. Quick kick from Hazelby. The Dockers have got another. Hazelby gets the goal. The Dockers get some breathing space. 15 points now the margin.
Well, this is shaping as what could be a magnificent win for the Dockers. I mean, it'd be a catastrophic loss for the Lions, but there's nothing better than seeing a team that comes into state. You know they've got no support. They've got to make their own emotion, make their own excitement, and the way the players are carrying it out at the moment, it's just a pleasure to watch. They're running from everywhere, congratulating all the players that are involved, the players that were used in the build-up, those that put their bodies on the line to help the ball go forward. And they've got the momentum at the moment, the Dockers.
Kick the last 3.
The Dockers by 15 points. They're going more direct. They've got Modra in the goal square. They've got Pavlich. They've got Bandy. They've got Metropolis. No point in fooling around with the ball. Here's Hazelby. He's inspired after kicking that last goal. Bandy's going to hit this pack. Caught behind was that time, and Pavlich playing in front. Loose ball, chance now. Trying to weave his way out of trouble was Picken. It finishes with Scott. Rockets the ball to Lappin. Here's a goal kicker. Runs to 55 and closes with a goal.
That's what I like to see him do. Just go straight at it.
It certainly couldn't have come soon enough for the Lions. They're only just staying in touch at the moment because the Dockers are making them work for every single possession. Marcus Picken's been good since he's come on in this last quarter. He's had 3 or 4 important possessions. Good hair pass. It might have been Brad Scott, I think, that shot it out. Chris Scott got the twins wrong. My apologies. But Nigel Lappin, he's a free-running player and very good kicking for goal on the run. You can just see him there. They're pumped. This game is on the line, and it might take a couple of efforts like that from Nigel Lappin to get them over the line.
Well, the crowd have got a bit of voice, and they may need it. Lappin, 25 possessions, 2 goals. McDonald, big punch. McRae, first to it. Wants the free kick. The crowd do as well, but Carr caught. Here's Picken again. Very good in this last quarter. Poor kick. Goes to the goal square. 1-on-1. Power. He is clever. Around the body goes Power. He went too far. Gee, normally they missed to the left-hand side there, but he hooked it far too much around the corner. But exciting times. Lions need to surge. They need to try and wrest this lead off the Dockers. 8 points.
And young Longmuir's got to make certain he makes a real contest at those set of bounces, because Beau McDonald just thumping that ball forward. Here's a chance. Bandy, well, he has been great. No doubt about that. Gives the ball across. Longmuir pumps the ball back. He's looking for Metropolis. Was it a push out? No.
He did well.
Taken by Cubido. Finds Ackermanis. Some danger signs here. Ackermanis loves to use the ball and run with it. Finds Black. Well, they reckon his contract's worth $1 million. Can he see a loose player? He can. McRae.
Well, we saw him miss one earlier on in the game, which he would normally have, I think all of us would have normally penciled in. You can see Brad Scott there having a spell on the bench.
Matthew Kennedy actually sprinted to the rooms with the doctor a couple of minutes ago and is yet to re-emerge. I thought perhaps a toilet stop, but he hasn't come back.
Interesting to see if he does come back and play a part in the closing stages here. But Craig McRae with an important shot on goal.
This to bring the Lions within 2 points. McRae straight through the centre. He's got 2.
Well, it's just hard to imagine what is yet to unfold in this game. It's swung a couple of times, hasn't it? There's some great pressure out there at the moment. The players are feeling it. There's some important possessions to be won. And he took a while to see the loose option, Craig McRae, but when he did, he found him very well, Simon Black. I think he got a bit of help from the crowd who are telling him that he was loose. This is a great clash at the moment.
Seesawing battle and 2 points in it, but still plenty of time left in this game. So we may see the lead change a couple more times. McDonald getting up high in the last quarter. Voss, clever hands to Robbins. Robbins, kick wobbles up the forward line. Good mark under pressure, Lee Brown.
Yeah, they put Bandy into that centre square ruck that time because young Longmuir, who's been very good,
just been perhaps tiring a bit.
Yes, could be getting a bit tired, just can't quite get off the ground.
Dodd hugs the boundary on the outer side. Johnson punches away from Cook. Here's Hazelby with him nodding. Hazelby tries to keep it in, just trying to force it backhanded, but it couldn't. So it'll be a boundary throw in. Centre wing, Tim Notting.
Kennedy back on the bench, boys.
Thanks, Victoria. There's the free kicks for the afternoon. 25-12.
Oof.
McDonald down in front. Hazelby perhaps caught high. Johnson, hands and knees. Fletcher. Blocking work from Fletcher. And wrapped up by Tim Notting. There'll be no animosity shown to Fletcher, as I mentioned earlier. Still has a lot of good friends in Brisbane.
Well, they've played 3 times here at the Gabba. The first time, the Lions won by a point. The second time by 114 points. And the last time by 107 points. So this is more like the first game.
We're going back to 1 point, you reckon, JB? And Notting gets a free kick. The crowd are happy with it. It's been very good this afternoon, Tim Notting. He likes to run. He lopes along, long strides, gets some distance with the kick. Chris Scott, was it a push? Oh, no, he's paid the mark. We'd love to see this one again, Jace.
It's one of those line balls. Look, it could go either way. I never mind when the forward gets away with it because there's a lot of times they get pinged. You get away with a lot both ways. No, look, I don't think he actually projected him forward. He just held his ground and stopped him from coming back to where he thought the ball was going to land.
Was it a free kick?
No.
It's a goal.
Well, Chris Scott going forward and doing the job for the Lions. And didn't they need it? A lead of 4 points now. Can they put a couple on end now just to try and break the back of the Dockers? Get the crowd right involved. But it's certainly going to go down to the wire the way things are shaping at the moment. McDonald's been good with the last couple of knockouts in the middle.
Lions by 4 points. They trailed by 15 points in this last term. Can the Dockers, do they have the belief that they can actually win? That's the question for the Dockers. Bandy now, the high leaper at that centre bounce. McDonald's been so important this last term. Chance now for Hazelby to Bootsma from that centre square. Bootsma pumps the ball back. Modric just cannot get into the game. Chance here for the Dockers. Modric kicks it off the ground and hits the post. Oh, he kicks so many goals like that off the ground. Just from the outside of that right boot. This is a great attempt.
That's the pace.
Yeah, you could just see he wanted to get Justin Longmuir out of the way so he could have a dash at that.
As he knew he could kick the goal,
yep.
and he thought, well, I'm the only one that can kick this.
Yep.
The Lions by 3 points. Plenty of time in the game. 11.5 minutes left. Short to Picken. It's been pretty handy in this last quarter as well. Young man still making his way in the game. Pavlich and McDonald. Pavlich was manhandled. McDonald did it well. Picked up by Robbins. Pumps the ball back. Here's a chance. Voss on the stretch. He can kick this. Can he unload? It's a centering kick. It's one for the high flyers. Danger here. Here it is. Scott in front. Stood his ground with strength and is marked in front of power.
This could be an inspiring move, Jason. Chris Scott is a full forward, never been seen before.
It's working. He's about to kick his second and they're going to kick away.
I reckon he's played full forward once before and might have kicked 5 goals, I reckon.
Oh, he had
Chris
one
Scott
on the leading hard, that's correct. Yeah.
And Chris Scott bangs it through. Lions by 9 points.
Well, we've seen them struggle quite a bit this year, the Lions, and probably could have been forgiven for thinking once the Dockers came back and kicked a goal in front that might have been enough. But to their credit, the character of the Lions players, they've answered, and they've answered strongly. Chris Scott's gone forward and kicked 2. And Michael Voss, you could just see he wasn't looking for the lead. He wanted to dictate the long kick. And you've got small forwards playing on small defenders. Chris Scott just too strong. He fought for front position and then held it.
It's a shootout here at the Gabba in the last quarter. We're not halfway through the final quarter, KB. 9 goals already.
Yes, it's, 18 goals apiece, so 36 goals in the game. We saw a game yesterday, over 40 goals at Colonial Stadium.
Oh, lovely handball from Lappin. Sets Ackermanis free, and Acker's got it, and he's pumped. But Bo McDonald again getting his hands in the ball in the middle, and look at the enthusiasm by the Lions.
That's the first time they've really erupted like that. They have come from all parts of the ground, the Lions players. And you wonder if it took something like that to open up a 15-point break before they finally got belief they might win. Ackermanis, he rode the kick. It was very close to the right-hand goal post. And then when he got it, the Lions players came from wide and far. And maybe now they'll put the Dockers away.
5 quick goals.
Look at that.
2 goals to Ackermanis, and he was pumped. They lead by 15 points. 19-16, 130. The Dockers 18-7, 115. Big test now for the Dockers. Can they regroup? Can they come back? Bell has worked so hard today. Notting's been magnificent. Agile, quick, athletic, kicks the ball a long way. It's been a dangerous player. To Lappin. Runs to the front edge of the centre square. Penetrating kick. Penetrating kick. Kicks a goal.
I love it.
Well, it took basically until 15 minutes into the last quarter for the Lions to really hit top gear. And haven't they done it in style? A couple of goals to Nigel Lappin on the run. Big ones from outside 50. A couple to Chris Scott going forward. Ackermanis splitting those two. But all of a sudden, some reliable ball users putting the score on the board for the Lions. And aren't the crowd enjoying it?
Well, Lee Matthews can't believe his eyes. He's seen his side kick 6 quick goals. Damien Drum got to find a way to stop this. Great to see players backing themselves in. Lappin's got 3. It reminded me of that great goal by Ryan Loney in the Anzac Day clash. Great to see players having a go. Ackermanis going forward once again, the Lions. Walker in trouble. Here they go again. Here's Headland. Can he get a foot to it? Yes, he does. But not far enough. Rush behind.
I'll tell you right now, Bo McDonald is having an enormous influence at the centre. He's got his fist on nearly every ball up, and that's the reason they're winning the ball out of the middle.
Well, at one stage they trailed by 14 points. They're now leading by 22, the Dockers. Still, they will surge again. They have done all afternoon. Bell shorts it up to Grover, still in his defensive 50. Out to Lee Brown. Brown searching up the wing, looking for Dodd. Robbins comes in late. Ackermanis has been pretty good today. Well, close to a throw, but he got it out to Notting, who's just been everywhere. Now, can he go all the way? Or will he get tired? Goes towards the goal square. No one there. Needs a good bounce. He's going to get a good bounce. Another goal! Ho-ho! They're kicking him from 60. They're kicking him from 70, Jason.
Well, it's fitting that Tim Notting would probably seal the win with a goal like that, because he's been the best man on the ground for mine. I know I'm not giving the votes, but he's been brilliant. 4 goals, 3, 26 possessions. But the way that he does it, his long stride, his explosive pace when he gets the ball, he's kicked that from 70 metres. Got the favourable bounce. And now the crowd's finally enjoying the game.
A goal out of nothing. Just a handball over the top from Ackermanis. Next possession, goal.
Tony Modra on the bench.
It's a sad sight.
Still 9 minutes left in this game. It's hard to believe that 10 minutes ago, the Dockers led by 15 points. They now trail by 28, so there's been a 43-point turnaround. And this man, Bo McDonald, at this centre bounce, has been absolutely dominating, getting his fist to the ball. Ackermanis has also been magnificent. There he is again, speak of the devil. Quick kick up towards the half-forward line. The defence now, the Dockers, is under siege, and Grover heads straight for the line for a boundary throw-in. 21-17 the Lions, 143, 18-7, 115 the Dockers. Lynch has booted 5 goals today from 5 kicks. Notting 4, 3 to Lappin, Power 2, Scott 2, Chris Scott, and 2 to McRae. Longmuir taken away by Ackermanis. Big last term by Ackermanis. Walker had it and lost it. Parker on the charge. They just need a quick goal. They've just got to settle things down, the Dockers. There's still time. Just 9 minutes left. White, the high flyer, has lowered his colours today. Mel Michael's there as well. Here's a chance. Cupido backs himself, runs the centre half back, kicks a poor one taken by Bell. This is possession number 35. Finds Fletcher. Can he measure the kick? It's a great kick. Finds Hazelby.
I'm amazed at that kick from Damien Cupido. It looked like he did everything right. He backed himself to use his pace. He finally broke clear. And what looked to be a straightforward kick to a teammate hit Peter Bell on the chest.
Hazelby has to kick this goal. Bends it back, straight through the centre. Great kick.
Well, I think the other thing to remember with the amount of goals that have been kicked in the last quarter, it's going to go for a fair while. So there will be plenty of time left. They can do it if they get a bit of a run on. You can just see Cupido. He sized things up. He backed himself. He had a bounce. You can see the teammate he's looking for.
He's got 3 to kick to. The triangle, he's popped it through the middle.
And it's cost them a goal.
Lee Matthews seen the fact that Paul Hazelby's kicked his 3rd goal for the afternoon. Incredibly, we've had 13 goals already in this quarter. There's McDonald again. Once again, he gets the ball inside his forward 50. Longmuir had to be clean. He wasn't. Power was. McRae will be. Or Ackermanis. One of them will kick their 10th. Oh, Jason Ackermanis. He's on fire in this last quarter. He's run from the centre square to get the goal. And he has kicked his 32nd for the quarter. It is raining goals here at the Gabba. If you've turned up for your first game of AFL footy, they don't normally kick this many.
And I tell you what, they've stopped trying to be scientific in the middle. They've said to Beau McDonald, jump and hit it forward.
And just punch
hit
the
it
thing.
forward, get it going in our direction, and then we'll get the numbers behind the ball. And he has been huge. He's been enormous, Beau McDonald, in this last quarter.
Well, he's had 24 hit-outs, 149 to 121. So it's a 28-point lead. And Damien Drum, they led by 15 points in this last term. They've been pretty brave again today, the Dockers. They just don't know how to win. And there's been a couple of great players. Ackermanis has been superb with McDonald in that centre square in this last term. Notting's been a star all day.
Lappin's been pretty good too.
All their big guns are fired. Lappin takes them on, runs to 50, closes to 45. High flyer! Off hands there, that was Headland. Through for a minor score. Some young players starting to emerge in this last quarter. Also with Des Headland, who's been showing a little bit today. Hasn't quite had his kicking boot on. Chance for Black from half-back. Finds Bootsma. Time clock ticking away. Just under 7 minutes left in this final term. Bell. 35 possessions pulled off the ball. He was looking for the free kick. Johnson rockets the ball wide to that man Notting. Comes away.
Look at him go.
3 bounces.
On him.
4 bounces. Into the centre square. Penetrating kick to centre half forward. Coming out in front was Power. Just thought he might have been able to make the ground. Nearly took it on the half volley. McRae was desperate. Kicked off the ground by Scott. Robbins ties it up for a ball up. Just 30 metres out from goal.
Yes, Tim Notting really enjoying, well, you said, well, last year he did, 1999, 6 goals against Melbourne late in the year, just before the finals. And he'd been enjoying his best game since then. He's pretty tired at the moment. Why wouldn't he be?
Great athlete, size-wise, pace-wise, and all that to be running up around the wing, isn't he?
There they go again. Voss. They've got 11. They've kicked 11 against Fremantle before. They've done it again. Oh, the captain's happy, and you just wonder how many they can kick in the quarter, Jason. Still under 6 minutes remaining.
He hasn't been bad, Michael Voss. It's just been workmanlike from him. 24 possessions. He's finally kicked a goal. Probably not the dominating influence we're used to seeing from him, but certainly that's a classy finish. It took them a while, but the Lions have finally killed the Dockers off.
Quite unbelievable, really. As you mentioned a couple of times, KB, they were virtually gone, weren't they? 15 points down.
Yes, they did. They looked like just one more goal to the Dockers, just might about close it out. But 11 goals to 4 in this last term. It's been an incredible turnaround. Fletcher keeps working. Black pumps the ball inside 50, and Bandy, who was so good in that third term, in fact, he's been a good player all day, has marked. 45 metres out, no angle to speak of. And Daniel Bandy has had it 20 times today. He's taken 10 marks. He's booted 3 goals.
McDonald off.
He's played in the ruck, Bandy. He's been at centre half back. He's been at centre half forward. He's going for goal number 4. Bandy pushes it left.
And Beau McDonald, as you mentioned, having a well-earned rest. 24 hit-outs he's had, and I would suggest half of those have come in this last quarter.
No question.
He's absolutely dominated.
Well, it's been a game played in quarters almost. No win to speak of.
Most of them are.
Yeah.
Played in quarters.
Well, I should rephrase.
The Dockers dominated the first
Thank
quarter.
you,
The Bears
Kate.
the second. The Dockers the third, and the Lions the fourth.
Ah, Mr. Bartlett, you're a wonderful gentleman. I was going to say something, Jason, but I'll just get on with the footy here. And it's Marcus Pickett searching for Cupido towards the boundary. Gets him. We've had 42 goals scored, 30 of them at one end, and there's no breeze. Johnson in trouble, back to Cupido, who should have missed the body in the first place with his skills. Now this time goes up and under. Simon Black under the pump. It's not his go to be marking the ball coming in high, but it's a margin of 34 points, still with 4.5 minutes remaining in this final quarter, which has just been an avalanche of goals, and that is just not what Damien Drum wants to see. Andrew Shipp on the left, Anthony Jones on the right. Robbins on Fletcher. Picken stole it. Ball up. Lights are on here together.
Some big possession winners. Ackermanis with 30. Tim Notting 29. Nigel Lappin 28. Michael Voss 24 for the Dockers. Peter Bell with 35 and Heath Black 28.
Brad Scott forced it forward to Robbins. He's been busy in this quarter. Kicks low, power. Good work by Walker. And he gets the boundary, just what he was after. Boundary throw in. Luke Power. Well, he's back in the team. 2 goals, 3. Unusual. Missed a couple that he probably would have kicked. Alistair Lynch is having a spell on the bench. 100% record for him. 5 goals, 5 kicks.
Very disappointed Dockers coaching staff.
Boundary throw in there. Over the top came Charman. Chance for Power. Got a boot to ball. Good trap by Parker, but he gave it back towards Scott. That's Brad Scott. He can't keep it in. Good work by James Walker to push him over the line. And that'll be another behind.
They'll be annoyed at the end of the day, I think, the Dockers. They'll feel a little bit hardly done by. They've travelled so far and worked so hard. And in the end, they're going to be beaten pretty comfortably.
Yes, you've got to learn to win. You've got to have the confidence to win and not be satisfied with putting up good performances. They've had probably chances in every game they've played this year, against Carlton and Collingwood and Hawthorn and West Coast, and today against Brisbane. Chance for Boozma. Boozma touches the fumbles. Fletcher. Good enough to keep the ball alive to McManus. Needs support. Great tackle by Cubido. He'll take the free kick. They've paid the advantage. Kennedy on the end of that long handball. Centering kick. Scott at the back hasn't gone for it. And he's brother over the top hands. Well, Brad Scott was at the back. He was going to go, and he said, brother, you take it.
Just flying over the pack. He got the kind touch. It sat up. Michael Voss got his head out of the way, and he was able to take it at the 3rd attempt.
Going for his 3rd goal of the quarter. From right on 50, Chris Scott. A shake of the head.
Crowd reaction tells the story. A collective groan.
Yeah, what's going on? We need another goal. They've certainly got their money's worth in this last quarter. 43 scoring shots to 27. Lee Brown going short. Anthony Grover just taking that, hugging it in the back pocket. Now they're away. Parker. Carr. Searches to the outer side. Have to be spot on. It's not. Johnson gets it. Bell arrives late. So Chris Johnson will take the free. 36 points the margin. Just a couple of minutes remaining in this game. Incredible turnaround by the Lions to kick the last 8 as Power gets it off to Scott. And he's got this one, has he? He certainly has. And that's 12 for the quarter. So we didn't go for the last mark.
What's their record for a quarter?
They've just hit it, I'd say, 12.
What's the AFL record for a quarter?
That's a very good question.
Because that is an extraordinary amount of goals in a quarter, isn't it? 12. That doesn't happen every day. That doesn't happen every year.
Well, and the Dockers have kicked 4, so that's 16 for the quarter. Brad Scott has found himself kicking his first for the year. But and that's 9 straight, I think, KB, for the
there would be
Lions.
records for each quarter. So 12 goals in the last quarter of an AFL game. We'll have to go to the record books.
And absolutely no justice in the 42-point margin for the Dockers at the moment.
It's amazing, isn't it?
24-21, 64. 12-goal quarter by the Lions. 19-8, 122 the Dockers. And they've just been completely overrun in this last term after leading by 15 points around about the 15-minute mark of this last quarter. And they were pretty agitated, Lee Matthews and the coaching bench of the Brisbane Lions, and then it all opened up. Ackermanis and Beau McDonald in that centre square, and Chris Scott up in the forward line. Then all of a sudden, an avalanche of goals. Cubido has done some nice things across half-back. Young man still making his way in the game. He's booted 10 goals this season up forward. So just part of his learning experience in that last line of defence. So just sharing the ball around now. Brisbane Lions.
Kicking this many goals, why wouldn't you keep going forward?
Yes, you might as well.
Another one. Here we go.
Some records. Ackermanis will run with the ball, gives it across. Here's a chance. Headland runs to 50. Can he kick a goal? He's had several opportunities today. Again, it's a wild kick. He's been way off target today. Can't believe it.
3 behind. So
could have kicked about 6 goals.
Yep.
He's got By my tally, he's booted 3 behinds in this quarter alone.
I think he missed everything altogether earlier on in the match as well. But
And he kicked it behind also in the first quarter. So he's had the opportunities today. Marcus Picken trapped it well. Robbins did well. Got the ball away from Bootsma. Strong play by Picken. He's been handy since coming onto the field. Black had it, lost it. Voss. It's a wild handball, and Black finally puts it over for a boundary throw-in.
43 points.
the KB, we saw a record quarter yesterday at the Bulldogs and Hawthorn that went for 40 minutes. This one's gone for over 35.5 minutes. And that's purely and simply because of the number of goals that have been kicked.
Yes, 40 minutes and 39 seconds yesterday, which is the longest quarter in the history of AFL, VFL.
Well, they've kicked 12 goals, 6 in this quarter, as Lappin pops it up towards Chris Scott. He couldn't quite get there. Carr, 18 scoring shots for the quarter. Searches wide. Noddings had 30 possessions. Can he get another one just before the end of what has been a very fine game for Tim Nodding? Goes off the side. Fletcher comes in, drops it. It goes to Robbins from just outside 50. Can this be the last one of the day? It is! 13 for the quarter. Benny Robbins joins the party. And what an amazing scene here at the Gabba.
11 individual goal kickers for the Brisbane Lions.
Look at Lee. He's saying, why was I worried during this quarter? Why didn't I just sit back and just relax and have a cup of tea and just enjoy it? Why get agitated?
13 goals for the quarter. Unbelievable performance.
I tell you what, that was a great three-quarter time speech by Lee Matthews.
One of the best ever.
Should tape that, I reckon. Play it every week.
But, as you say, Jason, they're going to go home the Dockers, and they're going to go home with a margin of 49 points.
Can they kick a goal with 1 second to go? Maybe not.
Maybe not, KB.
The siren will sound the moment this ball is bounced. And it's been a remarkable game. And the roar goes up around the Gabba. 25-21, 171 the Lions. 49-point win over the Dockers, 9-8, 122.
Well, I don't know what they'll be feeling in the Lions coach's box. Probably relief more than anything. They're a far cry from being a top four side, which is how everyone rated them prior to the season. And perhaps they showed a bit of that in the last quarter. But that's really the only quarter of that type of football they've produced this year. And they've certainly got a long way to go, the Lions. They were in strife for 3 quarters. The Dockers took it up to them. Full credit to the Dockers. It's a long way.